All right, it was good to get back out today. I thought guys had good spirit. I thought there was some good physicality that showed up. One thing I was, say disappointed, but want to see a better sense of tempo. And that's sometimes when you are coming back into getting into the swing of practice. We're getting good work in. We've got some newcomers. We got 19 guys that this is their first time, being here at Florida State, being a part of our practice, and so really just pushing the tempo of how we operate, how we communicate. Want to play faster, and I thought it was quality work. There was good plays on both sides of the ball. Solid defense, able to create a couple takeaways today, which was good to see. In the defensive backfield, but For us, I just like the sense of urgency and in between the play is something that we got to get better at, and challenge the guys there afterwards. So need to be able to see a correction to that. But I thought the physicality, some of the plays that we're able to see were good. We're continuing to install fourth practice. Put a good amount on them. So some of the newcomers, I'm sure their heads are spinning a little bit, but it's good to get thrown out there, and you have to adapt and adjust. And so I like what I saw. Just like I said, want to continue to push that tempo.
On those turnovers, did you get a sense of it was more good plays by defense or miscommunication by?
A little bit. Obviously that happens. Both. But you still, when you're put in a position, you get a chance to make the play. You got to make the play. And I thought the defense was in the right spot. Obviously things that need to be cleaned up on the offensive side when it comes to that. But all teachable things, and things we'll get better at.
Some of the guys making plays were freshman defensive backs. What is the upside of those two guys? They maybe find themselves contributing at some point here.
Yeah, no, it's great to see. You got, I know KJ had an early interception. Quinn had an interception. Fentrell had an interception today. So those three guys are all newcomers joining the program, and it's great to see them come out and be able to make an impact in practice. I like what I'm seeing from all those guys. Still figuring out quite a few things, but it's good to see those positive flashes and obviously those moments showing up. Wow. All right, I was about to say, if we're going to do this, we're all spring break, guys. Let's go.
As you ramp up for the first scrimmage, how is it different with this group versus maybe a year ago or definitely 2 years ago?
We have I like the depth that we have, but it's also being able to push some guys that are trying to expand and expand their role, and what they're doing. How are they going to operate? Looking at it, we're going to get a good number of reps, come Saturday, and put guys in different situations. Jordan probably won't get a whole lot of work on Saturday, if any. And what I love watching him come out and practice and how he's approached. Get a chance to see those other quarterbacks, be able to go work with the first group. Get a chance to see how they're operating. And that's something we're going to do throughout the spring. Also trying to mix some different combinations. It's not going to be as much to see how many guys can play in how many different spots. I want guys to be able to go out there and play fast throughout the first week, but see different combinations of personnel and how guys operate together, and just see them cut it loose and go get better.
Since we last talked, Micah announced on his blog that he was out 4 to 6 months. So now that you lost Ontario, how do you replace two receivers now? How do you go about that from two guys who started last year? Big role.
Yeah, we've got a great group that's returning, and we've got some guys that have come in that really excited about. I thought Vandrevius and Akeem had great days today. For them to come off spring break and to jump in, both of them made had some big plays and big moments, and that's always good to see. And then you got a lot of guys that that played last year that were in the rotation, or a couple guys that Ja'Kai missed a better part of the year due to injury in the early part of the season, and then Darion missed some in the late part of the season. Both those guys I think are really good players, and getting Winston back, and I like our personnel that we have, and so you hate anytime you lose a player to injury for any amount of time, but it does open up the door for other guys to rise up.
What allows a guy like Vandrevius to have seems like a really smooth transition so far?
He's a really good player. We knew throughout the recruiting process. I mean, he came up here, multiple times, got to see him in camps, got to see his competitive spirit, the way that he plays. He's one of the best players in Florida, and I thought in the country last year, had 20 touchdowns receiving. I mean, he is a playmaker. And, the moment's not too big for him. And he's come out here, and, there's a lot of new information, a whole new language that he's learning. He'll continue to clean up the details. But when you see the reactions, when you see, just the confidence in how he's playing, I mean, that's what gets you excited. And, there'll be some moments where it's going to jump on him at times. But, definitely, what I thought we were getting, we did.
It seemed like Braden surprised you maybe with his speed and jumping into the race today. I know he's still working his way back, but how impressive is it? I mean, it seems like he's a pretty athletic guy for his size.
Yeah, it actually was one that jumped out to me. You never know where things are going to show up, and he's limited in what he can do from a contact. But he jumped into the race today. I thought he must have fresh legs, but he looked pretty good. I'm gonna blame today's performance. I've been chasing my daughter. I had a couple days on spring break, and she's active, so I might have been a little heavy leg today. So I'll get back and be ready for Thursday. But no, it was like that was as I was running. I was like, we can run a little bit. So what you see on film, but it's always good to see it in action.
Kyle Moore continues to make good plays. How excited are you about that room?
I think that room's got a chance to really. We've had good players there, but now you see the quality of the depth, the athleticism, the playmaking ability. We needed guys to rise up, and the two newcomers, Kyle and Jaheim, have done a great job in transitioning here early. But then you see, Marquiston, he came off a great bowl game. I think he's got a huge upside. Brian Courtney, Preston Daniel, Jarrell Power. I mean, all those guys. We've got a good group, and but I've definitely been very pleased with Kyle and just his approach. Really good receiver, a tough young man, and obviously Jaheim. I mean, very explosive, and you're seeing him just get better with each practice, and it's gonna be a fun room to coach.
Did Winston return a lot of punts before? I know he returned a lot of kicks.
He did. I mean, he was primarily kick returner, but he did have some punt returners, some punt returns. So we're working that. Him, Jakai. Obviously with the time with Micah not being able to go during spring, it opens the door for some other guys. Vandrevius is one that we're looking at. Azari Thomas, has done a good job. I mean, all those guys will continue to evaluate.
Good.
Well, thank you so much for all your questions. I'm glad you guys got past your spring break hangovers, all right? And then we actually came back to work. So let's be ready Thursday, okay? Thank you so much.